to introduce your flag officers for 2023. The flag officer overseeing everything and responsible for everything inside the clubhouse is Vice Commodore Sally Cohen. I'm going to skip one thing here and to our Junior Staff Commodore Jim Nagashima right over there. I'm going to do this just a little bit different. Give me 1 minute because we have some people that are on vacation. So what I'm going to do is acknowledge them, and then when I finish, we're going to give them one clap. Mardell is off in Washington. Hold on. We have Rwanda in Europe. Mardell again is our cruise chairperson. She's in Washington. Rwanda is our membership chair. And everybody, please give one clap. Oh, and John Schroeder is in Europe. Yay! One clap. Thank you.
One clap. Get the clap.
For everyone else, let's go to our staff commodores. I would like to recognize 1991 Dwight and Donna Reed. 1996 Bruce and Carol Miller. 2008 Steve Holland and Mary are in the house. 2016 Walt and Patsy. 2018 Steve, stand up again. Steve and Mary. 2019, John Colo, who's also the 2023 SCYA Commodore. 2020's me. Okay. Hold your applause now. We're going to do this again where we say everybody's name and then we all have everyone stand up as your name is called, and then at the end we'll have the very big clap. Not one, very big clap. Secretary Chrisie Neal. Treasurer Walt Simmons. Port Captain Dave Jones. Fleet Captain Q. Dave Jones is a second term board of directors. Q, second term board of directors. First term is Gordon Stroud, Lori Merrill, and Peter Neal. Also, chairpersons, Terry Hanna, assistant chair, race chairman. House and facilities is Rusty Eddy. IT video and network is Peter Neal and Gordon. Webmaster Troy Bakken. Seabell's co-chair Cindy and Janice. Line editor Maria. Social events and party chairs Lori Merrill. Food captain Diana Bakken. Ship store Barbara Hunt, Joan Palango, and Donna Reed. OD chair Dennis Doyle. Woohoo! Thank you, everyone. It takes a lot of us to do what we do here. I want to give an update quickly. Tonight we sent around cards so that we are going to be sending this donation hopefully tomorrow for the Lahaina Yacht Club for their recent situation with the fires. So we've been doing a collection, and I know I got about $1,000. So we're collecting tonight. So if anyone hasn't given and you feel like you are in a position to do that, we'd appreciate that. And that will go out tomorrow. Barbara Hunt, I would like you to come up and introduce the people that are running for the board positions and the flag positions. We're doing this right out the gate because it's so important.
Okay. All right. The nominating committee spent the last 2 months looking for people, talking to people, trying to get people interested in taking one of these positions. We have 4 open board of director positions, and of course the flag, which changes every year. So of all of that effort, we managed to get 6 people that decided to run for board of directors. Yeah. And then we also have 1 person each for each of the flag positions. Okay? So somebody's going to win these positions, right?
That's right.
So we'll have a full board and we'll have a full flag by the end of this. So what I'm going to do is start calling some of the names of the people that are here tonight. There's gonna be 5, I think. Alita isn't here. I didn't think she might have made it, but maybe she didn't. So there's 5 people today that will give a little spiel on why they want to be a board of director or why they want to be rear counter. Okay? Let's start with, I'm just going to go in no particular order. I put this in alphabetical order. I'm going to do the board of directors first. And first one on the list is Troy Bachman.
Thank you, Barbara. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Troy Bakken. My business background, I own my own business. It's a technology business. I've owned it for almost 34 years. I implement accounting software and distribution software for businesses. So I pretty much spend my whole life implementing change in companies, which in a club like this, we implement change quite a bit. So I feel like I'm qualified because I kind of deal with that. So my background with the club that makes me think that I'm qualified to help support what our members want is I was a webmaster from 2017 until now. I brought in the online RSVP process. Prior to that, you actually had to get out your checkbook and your pen and write a check, write it, address an envelope, and mail it to the Carusos to pay for your events. So I think it's made it a lot easier. I was social chair for two years. I was cruise chair for a year. I was a board member in 2018, so actually for 2 years. I was co-member of the year in 2021. Committee vote of the year 3 times, I think. I was Bristol Boat this year. And I was a 4-time recipient of the prestigious Captain Splash Award. So as you can see, I've been around the club. I've participated in the club a lot. Most of you know me, or you've probably been on my boat. I'm looking forward to working with the new board to help make decisions that help get our club into the future and you know, give the members what they need. And I just hope I can earn your vote. Thank you.
Okay, next on the list is Q.
Q comes through.
Q. Miguel Morales.
You're hiding yourself.
Makes me look bigger.
Oh no, my face was in there.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Corelli, aka Q, aka Mr. Don Allen, and after last weekend's bring your pimp and hooker to work day, I am now known as Big Daddy. But most importantly, I'm Noah's dad, and to many of you, your friend. My life began 5 years ago in this club when 2 members, Dave and Debbie Bachman, introduced me to the love of my life. I'm gonna cry again. I did this last year, 2 years ago. But from the moment she brought me into this club, I felt like I was home. And each and every one of you not only embraced me, but also my son, and brought me into your family. Since that time, I have come to know and embrace the Corinthian spirit that really runs through the veins here at Sylvia Chuck Club. 2 years ago, I stood before you and asked for your vote as I ran for my first term as board of director. And despite Don's pleas asking you not to vote for me, knowing that I would probably get us kicked out, I'm proud to say that I didn't. But as my passion runs deep, and I have been very passionate in the board of director meetings, I really believe that we're moving in the right direction. And I think that we can do a better job in my opinion, in reaching out to our new members, better understanding who our current members are as it relates to children and the adolescents and the grandchildren. And I think we can also do a better job of retaining our members and keeping everyone involved in all the programs that we have to offer. One of the things that I would like to do in the next 2 years is really have a better understanding of who our members are and creating a more inclusive environment for our young members, doing programs for them on our cruises, having programs for them here at the club. I know that we have a sailing program, but doing more than that. Maybe getting all the kids together and running them down to Huntington Beach and doing a bonfire, doing all the things that we used to do as kids growing up. And I think that if we get to know who our younger members are, then we can really start to instill the Corinthian spirit within them as well. This past year, I've had the honor of being your fleet captain, which was a true privilege, and also being a part of the Bristol Boat Award, which we've, I guess, reintroduced to help bring the level of our yachtsmanship here at the club. It has been a true pleasure and privilege and honor to serve you as your board of director and as your fleet captain. And I hope that you will give me the pleasure and privilege of serving you again. So thank you so much.
Next,
Need somebody to read it?
Maria Davia.
Hello, everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Maria Davia. I'm the current editor of the Bow Line newsletter that you get with your statements. And I'm the better half of Dan, right over there, who's been my person since 2017. So, I was introduced to Seal Beach Yacht Club about 3 years ago when we first started dating. And you know in relationships, there's like the milestones where you don't meet the parents is up there. So meeting the members of the club was right below meeting the parents because he thinks so highly of everybody here. So it was quite a big step in our relationship to finally meet everybody here. I've been a nurse for 14 years, a registered nurse, working in the hospital setting, variety of settings. Been there for 14 years, and then I recently transferred to teaching nursing students in the community college setting. So my favorite part of nursing, or my favorite place of nursing was the emergency room. I worked there for 5 years through COVID. And while COVID sucked for a variety of reasons, being a nurse taught me two important things. One was to really listen to my patients. Really, really listen to my patients and my patient family members, because so often they feel so dismissed by the busyness of the emergency room or the busyness of the doctor or whatnot. They really don't want to bother anybody. So, but to really, really listen and advocate for them, because they just want to feel heard. The second thing that being a nurse really taught me was when a problem is presented, so say like there's something going on with my patient, you not only articulate the problem well to the doctor, but you present a variety of solutions for him to pick from. You kind of make his job easier in a sense. We love our doctors, but we love to make their jobs a little bit easier. So you present a variety of solutions for them to choose from with a logical rationale backing each and every one of them up. And that can also be applied here in the leadership at the club. What I love most about this club is the feeling of family. At our wedding, we've been married for 9 months now. And at our wedding, we were very, very grateful that quite a few club members came. Our favorite photo is the one of him and I on the dance floor with a huge crowd of Seal Beach around us, Seal Beach Yacht Club around us. It's one of our favorite photos. So like in nursing with my patients, I commit to serve the members, put them first. So with nurses, we put our needs second and our patient needs first. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, My shift in the ER was noon to midnight, so I keep all kinds of crazy hours, and, you know, just call me, text me anytime. I do commit to listening to our members and bringing their concerns to the board for a timely resolution. We are only as good as our members, and voices deserve to be heard. So I appreciate any consideration. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Maria. Next on the list is Brenda.
All of a sudden, I'm emotional. I'm like you
Oh, you're
too.
fine.
Oh, so I moved here 6 years ago from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I came here for a job. I left my family and friends behind, and I moved here and I had no family and friends. And I really had a difficult time getting to know people. I was used to Minnesota nice, and so I met a lot of people and neighbors walking my dog. But the first person I met in October of 2017 was Dawn Ellen Corelli. And she brought me here. And now I can say I have a lot of friends and family in California. So it has been amazing. And I was talking to Ann at our table, and she said, you know, this club is so down to earth and friendly. And I said, that's exactly what I think too. It's so welcoming, it's inviting. I've had so many awesome friends and I got to know so many people. So I really, really do love this club. And in my experience, I am in human resources. I've been in human resources for over 30 years. So I'm all about people. I love people. I did not like employee relations, dealing with performance issues, that kind of stuff. But I love leadership development. I love recruiting. I love engaging and retaining employees, onboarding, doing orientation, developing the future leaders. And so I really am passionate about the people. I've worked in a lot of different industries, services, financial, higher education, retail. I've led teams up to 100 employees. I've been in big leadership positions. I started out with my dad's business. He was a GMC dealership, and so I was a business degree. I managed his accounting, his profit and loss. I helped him grow his business. That was my grandfather's before that. So I really enjoy P&L. I love numbers. I've managed really big projects, really big programs. And I've recruited, hired, and trained thousands of employees. I've consulted with a lot of different leaders on change and implementing new organizational development. So right now, I'm the director of talent acquisition, which is recruiting, at West Coast University and American Career College. I also am a fitness instructor, not only at LA Fitness, but here for the club. I taught water aerobics on Saturday at Marina Del Rey and pool Olympics on Sunday. And I've hosted a lot of yoga and walks and stretches and things like that. I've led a lot of fun committees. I do like to have fun, and I'm probably the #1 cheerleader here at Sylvie Chalk Club, as many of you know. I have a bachelor's degree in business and marketing, and I have a master's degree in human resources. I've done a lot in my last 6 years at the club as a recruiter of new members. So my job is recruiting, and I am the #1 recruiter when it comes to Sylvie Chalk Club. I'm always talking to people, engaging people, whether it's on the dock or in my neighborhood, and have brought a lot of new members to Sylvie Chalk Club. I'm also a party goer, party planner, party host, also cruise goer, cruise party or helper, and cruise host. My husband and I did the Marina Del Rey Labor Day weekend. We had a lot of fun. Speaking of my husband, I didn't know anyone when I moved here. So I got married to Fraser during the pandemic, and we had our wedding reception here at the club during the pandemic. So, done a lot of things within the club, and just really am passionate about the people. And as far as some of the ideas that I want to implement here is, my #1 source for hiring employees is employee referrals. And I would like that to be our #1 source here, member referrals. and really incenting members to recruit more members and really to have more of an onboarding process where we have a once a month an onboarding meeting on how to onboard new people. I was talking to Ann, she said this place is really engaging. Well, that's how you retain people. You engage them, get them involved, and get them participating. I'd also like to implement a new member buddy system. So every new member has a buddy, active current member who really helps introduce them to people, get to know people, get to know all the things we do, and really get them involved. I'd also like to grow our revenue. Like I said, I did that for my dad's business, and I have some ideas there, including the membership fee. I've been talking to other yacht club members, and $350, what we charge new members for kind of a one-time fee, is low compared to other yacht clubs. So anyways, I have a lot of great ideas. I'm super passionate about this club, and I would appreciate your vote.
Okay, there's a few other people that are running for board of directors, but unfortunately they are out of town and won't be available, so, we'll move on to, sorry, we'll move on to the flag officers. Is Lori in the house? Lori Merrill. Revere Commodore.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to say I feel honored to be behind such a bunch of amazing people who have done so much for this club. It's humbling, really, to listen to some of these stories about how much everyone has done and be standing here. I'm just going to go through my notes because I'm a little nervous. I've owned a sailboat since 1998, and we bought our current boat, Why Not, during the pandemic. And my husband was like, oh, I want to join a yacht club. And I'm like, a yacht club? No, I'm not sure I'm like that kind of person. And then we found this club, and you guys are all amazing and fantastic, and I've never felt more welcome and really happy with so many friends in all my life. I currently hold a C-27 contractor's license here in California. I've had 3 of my own businesses, all of which were successful, and I hope to be able to run this club as a successful business, even though we're nonprofit. But I want to make it, wonderfully, running. Sorry, I'm choking. I'm on the 2023 board of directors. I'm also the social chair, and I want to say I've never felt more honored on the board of directors. There's so many people in this club that have their heart in this club, and I once again feel honored to be amongst them. I think that we have a great crew here, and I only want to be able to improve on that. As the Rear Commodore, I want to improve on the racing program. I think that racing is very important for a club. I think that it brings some sort of prestige and also a camaraderie. And you don't need to own a sailboat to be in racing. If you own a powerboat, there's more than enough positions for you in racing to be part of racing and be able to serve on that position. I also want to be able to bring the cruises. Mardell has done a wonderful job. I feel inadequate to follow Mardell as far as the cruises go. I want to continue the cruises to be a fun thing. If you own a boat, you need to use it, as Mardell said. If you don't own a boat, hop on someone else's, come to these cruises. It's an amazing way to meet people, to get to know people better, to see all the other yacht clubs, to really, really delve deep into what it means to be part of this amazing community of clubs and boating and overall just friendship. As a director, I helped with the downstairs renovation. I feel that I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I help with the downstairs renovation, and I hope as, eventually as I go up the flag, to help with the upstairs renovation, to be able to continue this club, to be able to continue the membership. I think that we have a very important time when we're gonna be getting a bunch of housing across the street, where these people are somebody that we may be able to draw into this club. I feel it's important to continue, membership drives. Rwanda has done a fantastic job, in membership drives, and I hope to be able to continue bringing more and more people into this club so that they can feel the friendship that I have felt. These are many of my objectives, and I just wanna say I've never felt more welcome with any group of people, and I love you guys all, and I hope to be able to direct us into a much bigger picture, but it's a hard act to follow. So, good night.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, next would be Mardell, but Mardell is unfortunately in Washington.
One clap.
Yes. So, the last person we have is Sally Cohen.
It's wonderful, wonderful to be part of this wonderful club too, because this year we have embraced change and a lot of good things have happened. And all of you have been a part of it. And I am honored to be selected by our nominating committee for your next year's Commodore. I thank you very much. Most of you know my background. I worked at the University of California for almost 25 years. I was in charge of the UCLA Foundation. I supervised about 23 people. And then we took in all the gifts for the university, even gold coins at the bottom of the seat. We had to be bonded. We found $1 million in someone's house because they were afraid the money supply would be affected in the bags. So I did that and enjoyed it, but I retired, and my husband, Don, of course, is retired too. We've been members since 2006. And every year in this club, I have just felt so wonderful about all of you, because everyone in here gives so much. This is what our club is all about. Now, a little bit about what I've done here. Most of you know that I served as CBEL's president in 2020. I was a social chair in 2021. We were Commodore in 2022, and now you're Vice Commodore. We have a great staff and volunteers who have helped so much with everything that we do in this club. And I couldn't have done many of the things that have happened without your support. Our club is moving forward in so many areas. Just our cantina alone, what a project that was. And it was done before opening day. We said we're gonna do it by opening day. Thank you, Laura Ellsworth, for leading that. It was great. And everybody in this room, too, who worked on it. Because everybody, we all have our talents. And so you use your abilities to help in a volunteer position as much as you can. Okay, I really want to focus on membership. I know a lot of our other nominees have talked about membership and what they're gonna be doing and what they'd like to do. I want to connect more with our present members, and I want to make them feel at home and comfortable, and I also want to reach out more in social media and advertising to gain more members, because there's so much in technology that we can do. And with the membership committee, with the marketing committee, there's a lot of different directions we can go. I want to emphasize working in teams to get things done, because one person can't do it all, or two people sometimes. And so a team concept, I was just talking to some individuals tonight for a position, and I said, you won't be alone. And that's my feeling. One of the things I want to emphasize in working on teams is to achieve our goals and not say we can't, but instead, how can we? Listening so much to all of you is very important to me. This year, our food program changed the way it was run, thanks to our chef and hospitality staff, and also to many of you and our flag who made suggestions on ways to change the program. We did get rid of most of the lines, not tonight, and we got rid of the tickets. Remember the little tickets that floated around and were lost? We planned varied menus. My gosh, we celebrated special days and watched our costs. Right now, we're making a profit in the food program, which is very, very unusual, because generally, and sadly, it has lost money in the past, not always, but sometimes. The maintenance of the club has to be continued. There's so many projects that I'm working on now. Nothing is final, but our stove is gonna be here next week. And if you notice, if you walk by the kitchen, you'll see that there's some tile in the back now of the stove, and it's gonna be extended a little bit. If I had a magic wand, I would change this room and everything would be different, but we do it within the budget. Financial stability is very important to this club, and to me personally. I feel that we can do so many things every year with the right emphasis. The bar plumbing has also been repaired, and that is so important, because we had a drain there that was just a mess, and other things that were going on. The refrigerator is okay now because it's all been defrosted. It's down to 30 degrees, so we don't have to replace it. Yay, I'm glad about that. So much to be done. I have a lot of enthusiasm. I want you to know that I will work for each of you, because we are representatives of you. Enthusiasm and positive thinking carry me forward, and I do cherish this club so much. I want to give you a little bit about my philosophy as I close. Start where you are, use what you have, and then do what you can. Thank you for considering me for your Commodore.
That's the completion of the candidates that we have here today. If we can get the remaining candidates for our next meeting, we might, if we can allow to have them give a little speech at that time. They're out of town, can't be here, so that just couldn't be changed. Anyhow, that's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. And everybody's speeches was wonderful, as nervous as you were. For the new members, we're gonna talk to you in a few minutes. Polly will bring you up in a few minutes, but we wanted to get that part done so that everyone was aware what our board of directors is looking like for the future, and our flag officers. So I wanted to bring up Kelly Walsh to talk to us about the swap meet that's coming up very quickly.
Hello. This is the first year that the yacht club's been able to host the swap meet again since 2019. And so we're pretty happy, but we're behind the 8 ball. The swap meet's in 2 weeks, so we did have about a 30-day notice that we could actually have it. The swap meet comes from an organization called the Yacht Clubs of Long Beach, which originally was for the yacht clubs that decided to try and raise money for the Children's Clinic in Long Beach. The yacht clubs have been organizing fundraising committees for about 36 or 37 years. And we at Seal Beach have had a swap meet for about 13 or 15 or something like that. And so our contribution to our community and to, also this kind of helps our club of the year as far as, you know, making us look good, but we're really helping the community. The yacht club, or the Children's Clinic is the beneficiary, and they have, like 13 different clinics that help the Long Beach community, including, they're branching out into seniors and homeless with mobile vans. They have actual hospital clinics, and they have clinics in schools. So our contribution of the swap meet is held in our parking lot. It's September 16th, and we could really use some volunteers to work the event. A lot of the vendors, they love coming to our event. They would much rather spend a day in our parking lot than some church in Lakewood. So they're really good, like enough that they call and ask when the swap meet is. So we do have a lot of support, but I could really use some volunteers to help put this on. Like my first immediate project is to get a banner hung up on the side of our wall. But we need early people in the morning from like about 5:30 till when you burn out. And then we need like a second shift for later in the morning to clean up, which is like 1 to 2. We also need a team to put on the breakfast. In the past, we've had other yacht clubs that have joined us to put on the breakfast. And they've all sort of bailed, or they have a cruise. And then we also put on lunch. So we're looking for people to help with any of those circumstances. I'll be here for the rest of the meeting if you want to talk to me. There's posts on our Facebook page, and anybody can get you in touch with me. But we're really looking for help because I'd really like to get this on and in full swing. We will probably have about 40 to 50 vendors. The vendors pay a fee to the parking space, and that whole entire fee goes to the clinic. The marina has once again allowed us to not pay them. They've waived our fees, which would probably take a third of the gift that we give to the clinic. So if anybody's out there that is available for September 16th that can help in any way, shape, or form, please contact me. Even if you don't have all day, I could use any bit of help that you have to offer. That's it.
Thank you, Kelly. I just wanted to report to you that we started doing, you're hearing a lot of words about membership tonight, and our board of directors is very focused on our members and the new members that are coming in, and being sure that anyone isn't left behind and not being embraced. So I'm gonna talk very quickly. Chrisie, you wanna come on up, and you're gonna introduce our new program to us. But also, we started a new member orientation. So we sat a couple of weeks ago and sat down with some new members and kind of just went through what we do, words we say, how things are, how did we get here. And that seemed to be beneficial. I think some people in the room enjoyed that and found that really much more information than just reading the bylaws or house rules. So everyone's talking about new members, and Chrisie, our secretary, is going to come here and tell us about a new program that we're rolling out. Thank you, Chrisie.
Hello. We heard a lot today about retention and membership and that kind of thing, and it just dovetails really well into what the board has been doing recently and what they've been talking about. So the Seal Beach Yacht Club has a strong membership retention, meaning that our members do stay, and they stay for a long time, which is great news. But we do think there's an opportunity to onboard members more quickly and integrate them into their club with all these friendly people. So to that end, we are rolling out an onboarding partner program. Again, that's called an onboarding partner program. And what that means is that we're going to match up a volunteered seasoned member with a new member to help accelerate the new member's integration into the club. Okay, so when you hear that, clearly what we need is we need people who will volunteer to be these seasoned members that will serve on the onboarding partners team, okay? We're looking for as many people as will volunteer. That would be awesome. You might wonder, so what does the role entail if you volunteer to be an onboarding partner? So what we're looking at really, and we're just now standing this up, so we expect it to evolve, we expect it to change, we expect to get feedback and to make it better and better. But really what we're thinking going forward, so it's a balance of, you know, integrating members more quickly, but without asking too much of our current members, so there's that balance of, you know, getting involved but not asking for, not a heavy lift from anybody here. So for the new members' first 2 months, the onboarding partner would do the following. Send an email weekly to the new member telling them about particular upcoming events at the club. So for instance, I might read the scuttlebutt and I might say, oh yeah, bingo is coming up and I love bingo. So I'm gonna email the new member that I'm linked with and I'm gonna say, hey, bingo's coming up, I love bingo and this is what it looks like and this is what you can expect and whatever. So it's just a weekly email that you would send, you know, for, like I say, for 2 months. That's what we're asking. And then secondly, the second thing is when the member comes to the club, and if you happen to be there as the onboarding partner, you know, just go up and greet them, make them comfortable, kind of help get them situated if you need to, whatever that looks like. It'll be different for everybody. Peter and I kind of did this informally with a couple of new members here, and what we found was that, you know, everybody's different. There are people that, you know, come in very, you know, they're kind of shy and they don't know who to talk to and they don't know if they can just go sit at any table. Well, the people that we were kind of testing this out with, they were ready, man. They came in and they were meeting new people. We're like, hey, this is easy, you know. So it just depends on the person. You kind of have to feel it out a little bit before you know the level of effort you need for these 2 months. And then thirdly, again, just introduce them to other members. And then 4, just to be available for questions. They might have questions around, you know, the club's dynamics, or, you know, how does this thing roll, or whatever. So just being available for that kind of stuff. So it's really, again, it's an easy lift. No bait and switch, we promise. We're gonna try to just keep it, you know, keep it simple, but effective. And what it is not, is that we are not trying to force any friendships or anything like that. It's really just having another familiar face in the room when a new member walks in. And then, kind of a non-sequitur a little bit here, but just for some background. So I go to all the board meetings, and this comes up a lot, like retention and, you know, what are we doing to onboard people and are people feeling comfortable? And Director Corelli is always banging the drum saying, we gotta do something about new members coming in. You know, we need to this and that. So, you know, I listened to this stuff and I kind of, you know, thought, okay, well maybe I can help to stand this thing up at least and get it started. Apparently, for people who've been here for a long time, they know that we've done this before. We tended to, so this time what we've done is we've operationalized it a little bit more so that we can make sure that it kind of happens and that it works properly. Not that it wasn't done that way before, but we're gonna try it again. So anyway, so kind of lastly, as the saying goes, many hands make light work, and your flag does have an ask of you. They need volunteers, seasoned members, to be on the rotational list of onboarding partners. So if you are interested in being on this, being an onboarding partner, come see me. I'm sitting way over there by Brenda today. Give me your name. I'm also gonna go ahead and put it on Facebook and get it in Scuttlebutt so that people are aware of it. I'm pleased to say that our Commodore, our Vice Commodore, and a couple of our board members, Lori Merrill and Peter Neal, have already signed up to be on the program. They're gonna be on the rotating list, which is awesome. So I hope that you will join them. The bigger the list, the better for everybody. And then, that's it. And then for anybody listening, when they look at this YouTube, when we post it, I would love to hear from you as well. So please email me or whatever so we can get your name on the list. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chrisie. It's fantastic. As you know, Chrisie and Peter are both really into data, and we need to analyze all of that data that they provide us. And it's really quite interesting to see, you know, where we're going, where we're heading. If we're losing members, why are we losing them? So this is a whole program that Chrisie has done, and we're absolutely embracing it. I also just wanna point out, we have had a problem with our awning downstairs where it needs to be replaced terribly, but we're just trying to huddle through and get us through another year before that big expenditure has to happen. And Nancy and Janice spent about 4 hours out there the other day hand sewing this awning. So I wanna thank you very much for doing that. And at the same time, Todd and Marilyn Beebe are not here, but they have donated a defibrillator to us. And thank you very much, if you're out there. We are going to be having a first aid series coming up. We're working with Peggy, who's gonna be leading us on that, and then also Marie is helping with that. So we're gonna get a little bit more healthy here and get these things taken care of for our members. Okay, Dennis? October 15th. We used to have it, but that was when we had a microwave up here and that just didn't work, so.
I know.
Next, October 15th, we're doing Sailing with the Blind, which we do I already talked about that last month, but we do that in coordination with the Seal Beach Lions Club. And I already talked about it, that Mary's been walking around the room, we're looking for boats. If you are, we need about 8 more boats, minimally 8 more boats. This is October 15th, and if you are to slip that is further away, we're gonna be having the Lions van that's gonna be taking you out to that location, so you don't have to come down here. So if you stand in, Mary, please stand up, you still here? Yay! There you go, so please participate, it's a really wonderful day that we do for the sight impaired. Now, can we please, Polly, can you come up and bring us the new members that we have brought on already?
Hi, thank you. Standing in for Rwanda while she's on her trip. We have 3 new members tonight. The first one I'd like to come up is Linda and Tom Borum. And if you just give us a little bit of background on your boating and why you joined the club, we'd love to hear it.
Hi, I'm Linda, this is my husband Tom. We live right up the street in Bay Harbor and we have been to 41.1 Oceanus. We're always looking for crew, we've been in Sonata, short on crew, always can use the hand or two. We love to cruise and we love to host parties. And we have been sailing for some 20 years together.
Stay up here because we're gonna take a picture in a few minutes. The next one that we have is Bill and Vicki Davis. Vicki is not here tonight. I understand she's late to the park, but Bill's here to give us a little information about them.
Yeah, Vicki's at Glacier Park, but like over the last year, she convinced me to retire. I did that about 30 days ago. About 60 days ago, I drove by a dinghy that was for sale and remembered that I was actually in boating my whole life. I grew up around Lake Erie and have a lot of power boating experience there. And as recently as 25 years ago, I had a 32-foot Erickson sloop in Marina Del Rey with a partner. And then I met Vicki, who got seasick and lost my partner. So it was just me, and 3 things would break, and I could fix one of them, and so guess which one went? Vicki will be with me at another time here, but the boat had to go. So basically I bought a really nice dinghy. It's 13 foot with a 50 horsepower motor, and it's recharged my life. Time is going so fast that when we walked into West Marine to get something about a week or 2 ago, Rwanda and Laura were out front and they offered me a donut and said, "Do you want to join?" And I loading up the steps for like his ice. And said, yeah, you gotta join, and like Dan and Maria, yeah, they were like, oh, we're setting it up for a big party, you should come. So anyway, it's just great to be here, you're all so friendly, I can't wait to party with you.
We have one more member, Jill Gorski, but she's not here tonight. Apparently she was a member before, but then she left and now she's coming back, so, we'll welcome her maybe next month. Do you wanna?
I need a picture. Yeah.
Yes?
Or
Yeah.
you done? Commodores. Oh, I need a picture. No, you stand in for a one.
Yeah.
Come here.
Ah.
All right, come on. Let's get around this. This way. Okay, feet together, chest out, chins up. 1, 2, 3. Uno mas. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Cindy and Janice don't really have, for C-bills, don't really have to report anything, other than we're still having lunches and we're doing wonderful things, and there's flyers on the table for the next events that we have. Now it is time for Sally, our Vice Commodore, to come up. Please tell us about what's happening in our club.
And a lot has happened and a lot will happen. But I want to give some thank yous right now to our volunteers. And I'd like you to just stand up and we'll do the one clap when we're done. Okay. Okay. To all our volunteers who grilled for Pop Top, stand up, please. Come on, I know you're here. Aha. See, you're not hiding. Good. Also, those who worked on the Finish Line Committee vote and who volunteered their votes for the committee vote, stand up. Come on. What? Okay.
Terry's gonna do it.
Okay, sorry. How about the Seabells for cleaning up the club? Yay. Okay, and everybody who did tablecloths all year long and helped wash them, thank you. All right, one clap. Okay, I just want to make a few points and then I'm going to ask Lori to talk about our parties. Our new stove will be in the kitchen, as I said, soon, tile behind it. We have a new cleaning company. Cleaning has improved greatly. I hope you've noticed it. Along with football on Mondays, we're going to have it on Thursdays too, starting this week. I hope you'll sign up online. We're going to have some bar food, and of course our bar will be open. Okay, Lori, come on up. Talk about our party. Here you go.
Thank you. Second time's the charm, right? I wanted to talk about our parties. On October 15th, we're having a Vegas night. It's not really a party, but it's a Friday night dinner. We're gonna have prime rib, baked potatoes, wedge salad, all sorts of goodies, and we're gonna have Phil Shane, who is a legendary Orange County entertainer. He's played at the fair, he's played everywhere, and he is kind of a Vegas-y act, and that's gonna be our fun Friday for our Friday night dinner, and that will be advertised shortly in the Scuttlebutt and online. And then we have a toga party, September 16th, and we're gonna have all Greek food. Chef B worked at a Greek restaurant, and so she is amazing at her Greek food. We're gonna have the toga party on September 16th. And then we're moving into Oktoberfest. Any volunteers for Oktoberfest? We have a lineup, but they're unable to do it. If anyone wants to help with Oktoberfest, go ahead and give me a call, a text, a Sky message, whatever. I need some help with Oktoberfest. And then, we're coming up on October 31st for our Halloween party. It's not gonna be the 31st, but, and, Jan has graciously offered, once again, she's so amazing at her Halloween parties. And we're coming up on an amazing Halloween party, and so it's gonna be exciting couple of months. Everyone sign up, it's gonna be great, a lot of fun, and, parties are how you get to meet people, so new people, sign up, have a good one.
Okay, just one final thank you. You don't need to stand up, but I wanna just say, appreciation so much to our nominating committee. We got everything done on time. Bravo. And I just, gosh, we got a great group of people working here to help us all. Thank you, Commodore.
Thank you, Kelly. And then Mardell's, rear Commodore, she's not here, boom. Terry, can you please come up and talk to us about Pop Tops and all that happened at Pop Tops?
Thank you. On behalf of the race committee for this year, from Bob and myself, the race management team, I want to thank everybody who participated in our racing program so far this year. We still have some racing to do. The Sunday Sale is coming up. But I'd like for everybody who's participated in the racing program this year, whether it be in the cooking outside, all of you stand up. For anybody who's done committee vote, stand up. Come on, get on your feet. For anybody who's done race committee, stand up. For anybody who's been on the finish line, stand up.
Finish line!
For anybody who's been on the starting line, stand up. For anybody who's done any of the scoring, stand up. For anybody who's done any kind of a participation in the race committee, please stand up. For anybody who's done any of the racing out there, stand up. See what this racing program does for this yacht club? You guys are great. You make this yacht club go, and all those people out there that on those boats that are doing the racing, they keep this yacht club going, and we appreciate everything you do. Thank you for all, and everybody better give you a great big a lot of claps. Bob and I appreciate all your support, and thank you so much for everything you do for us. Terry.
Joan, can you come up here and talk to, you got a couple of things on your agenda for us?
I forgot about our trophy chairman, Nancy Hanna. Ain't like you. I'll probably have to sleep on the floor tonight.
Maybe on the boat. So yeah, like Laura said, I wear a couple different hats. First, the ship store tonight, thank you all very much for your support. About 20 to 30% of our proceeds go to the club. Everything goes to the club, but we make about 20 to 30% on a normal basis. And tonight we sold almost $800 worth of items. Wow! So anyways, I'm doing this in calendar order. September 13th, there's some flyers on your table. So if you don't know about the power pumps situation in Alamitos Bay, it's a big deal. The power plants are being converted from being recycling with water to recycling with the air. And for 50, 60 years here, the water in Alamitos Bay has recycled about every 3 days through the power plants. That's taking care of a lot of our debris and everything. Those power plants have been closed down, and being closed down. We did just within the last couple of weeks get an extension that they will go for 3 more years, but that's not necessarily to worry about our water, that's to worry about, or to cover for power outages and stuff. So our 3rd district representative, Christina Newton, has been really supportive of the Long Beach Marina Boaters Association and this club, and she's actually a member of Long Beach Yacht Club. And so she has arranged for this meeting about the pumps. It's going to be really very informative. I really encourage you all to go. If you go, wear something boating so that they know that the boaters care about this. But we're really glad that Christina has pulled this very informative meeting together. It's the September 13th, and it's at the Long Beach Yacht Club.
6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock. And Dave can give you more than an earful about that. It's really a passion. I mean, just consider, without those pumps, we don't know what's gonna happen without those pumps. But right now, circulation in some areas is, instead of every 3 days, is 14 days. As it is, in the month of May, the marina hauled 4 tons of debris, just in this marina. So this is a big issue. Then Explorer Sunday, Joe Negron is going to teach us about weather for mariners. Joe, if you don't know it, he's a pilot as well as a boater, and he's gonna, help you make the go, no-go decision on when to go boating according to the weather. And then there's this, yes?
So that's right before Grilly Road, isn't it?
Yes, it's just before Greater. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you.
Yes, Explorer Sundays have been, they're occasional things, sometimes it's a trip, anyway. They're before Grill Your Own, it's at 4 o'clock, and then Grill Your Own's at 5, so bring your own protein, and you get for $8 you can get a potato and a salad. It's the best deal in town. And then so maybe some of you have already signed up for this. This is a boat handling class given, a series of classes given by the Power Squadron. We have come up with some sort of an agreement or an alignment with the Power Squadron, and they are now part of us and we are part of them. And so it's a series of 6 classes. These are the topics. If you, the dates have switched a little bit. Well, the topics have switched with the dates. Anyway, look at this flyer, it'll tell you. You can do all of them, or if you only want to do one, then it's $10. And like, I don't know how many of you have asked us to do a knot tying class. Well, there's a knot tying class in here. And the people that do this, these classes are really informative, well-informed, experienced boaters, and it's the Power Squadron has great programs to go with that. So that's all that. I just want to say one little thing about, I'm sorry, Laura, I just can't let it go. Because I made this flyer and I'm going to be gone, so. Diwali. It's a festival of lights. It's a Seabells that we're going to have a lunch. A friend, Megan Delaney, some of you know her, she has a really good friend who's Indian, very passionate about her culture, and Diwali. Diwali is Festival of Lights. So we're going to get together at this restaurant, probably have a smorgasbord of things. We've got to work that out, work out the cost. It's in Little India. It's like 2 blocks of shops and restaurants that are all Indian, kind of nestled between a whole bunch of Korean and other shops. But anyway, it's it's 2 blocks of and it should be informative and a lot of fun and good food. So, well, once we know what we're doing, we'll tell you, but I want you to get the date safe. All right.
And Commodore Splash, can you come up and talk to us about some oops and all of that.
Thank you. And before we start on the Splash Award part of this, we would, in a little more serious bent, would like to ask 3 of our heroes for the last couple of months to come forward. Kelly Walsh, Bruce, and Carol Miller. Would you come forward, please? We had a man overboard a few weeks ago.
I saved myself.
We're not talking about you, Carol. And the racer chaser was able to salvage the flotsam. And so, well, it's not. It would be very poor form to a race boat finish without all the crew. And anyway, they were able to take care of that. I understand you might have something to say? Explain what happened.
So for those of you who don't know, we are on the Racer Chaser for every Thursday night. We videotape and set the mark. And Bruce is our excellent driver who gives me and Carol easy jobs because he just puts us where we need to go and he puts us there. So we have 2 really big boats racing with us now, Bolt and Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll is a 68-foot sailboat, and we were heading down to the Mark 32, which is kind of close to the shore. Now we have the whole entire bay we could have been in, but we decided to follow the big boats because they are usually more interesting anyhow. No offense to small boats. 20 people on a boat making it happen. Usually things happen. Let me continue. So they rounded 32. They were really close, and we weren't that far. We were pretty close, and all of a sudden we hear man overboard. Now this has never happened. We've found shoes overboard and hats overboard, but never men. So we started heading, and I have to say, the people on the boats really did what they're supposed to, and that's point. I looked over to the left, and there were at least 10 or 15 hands. So that's really helpful. And it wasn't very swelly. We could totally see the guy. Once we found him, we saw his little head, and so we never lost him. But we headed over there and said, are you okay? And he's like, no, we'll die. I just fell off a boat. Of course I'm not. But anyhow, though, he said, no, I'm not. My shoulder's really bad. So then we're thinking, how do we bring him on board with a bad shoulder? And he says, no, it was already happened. So, okay, fine. So we're trying to figure out what to do, though. And so we gave him the fender to hold on to until we figured out what to do. He said, I can probably step on the motor. So he was, communicative. We didn't see blood. He was talking and everything seemed okay. We got him on board. He actually stepped on the propeller and got himself on board. One thing, in case nobody's ever had to go through that, you don't grab their arms, because if you grab their hands, they cannot help themselves. He didn't have a belt on, so we just got him aboard from the stern on the motor. And the first thing he was worried about was scratches on his back. Well, he had huge scratches on his back, but they weren't bleeding. So we said, let's get you seated down, and he went forward and sat down. Then the blood started pouring out of his ear, and it was running down his face and down his neck. And we took care of that. We had a first aid kit on board. We took care of his first aid needs. One of the things that kept going through my head through this whole time was, he's very calm. He's very calm. And I come to realize he was in shock. He just, I had 3 jackets with me. We put the jackets on him, and we said, do you want to go back to the boat, or do you want to go in? And he said, I'd like to go in. So the boat, I have to say, did what they were supposed to. They immediately started dropping sails and making ready to come back and get him. But we had him on board, so we headed in. And then we found out he just lived on Appian Way, so he's like, oh, I'm by the stadium. So we actually just beached the boat and took him pretty much home. But a couple of things later on, though, I followed up with him the next day. He said, thanks for saving me. He said, I don't think I would have been afloat if I would have waited for the other boat to get me. So it was really good timing that we were where we were. I mean, it was just love. Everybody pointing to him helped, and it was a little bit scarier in hindsight, but, he was fine, everything was fine, and learn your man overboard drills.
Anyway, there will be an engraving done on the plaque.
Okay, everybody here, you know the rules, be together. Hey, Kelly, why did he fall over?
So, the first thing he kept saying was, not in front of the mast, not in front of the mast. Like something was playing in his head. And then the next thing he said was, I just met these people today. And so he told them, they met and they said, oh, come out with us. Because rock and roll can hold 20 people easily on it. And so they said, oh, just sit, come on with us and just sit. You don't have to do anything. Well, he was forward of the mast moving the jib over. And his shoulder problem was because he'd had surgery 5 days ago.
Oh! Sounds like a really good plan.
Right? Yeah. But he went along for the ride and ended up in the drink.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelly.
Well, we have heroes, and then we have anti-heroes. My responsibility as giving the Flash Awards is to give special recognition to those of our members who have had some experience that we can all learn from. Now, it could be an inadvertent fall into the water, as that gentleman had, or it could be just at the dock. It could be a minor scrape, which might be an ouch award. But either way, that individual gets a chance to teach us so that we don't make the same mistake. So, we've had a couple of major cruises this summer, and one of them was the San Diego cruise. And while we were there, we were med-tied. You all know what med-tied is, when you back the boat into the slip. And one of our individuals, as they were crossing over, lost a sandal. Now, I wasn't sure if this went to the level of a screw-up award. I flip-flopped on it for a while. Oh, a groan is better than applause. But in the end, I decided it did not raise to the level, but we would like to give a special recognition to Lisa Jones. Thank you. Thank you. And now, at this last weekend, I'm told, I wasn't there, but I'm told that one of our very prestigious skippers, actually a professional skipper as I understand, precluded some of his crew members from getting back on their boat. So I'm going to ask Q to come forward and explain how he could lock his crew out of his boat. And this man has a 100-ton license.
This was coming?
You lock all your crew out.
You really went low this time.
That's my job.
Yeah. So we were coming up from Long Beach, pulled in, and pulled into the slip, and it was that moment where we realized that the door had slammed shut and was locked. With Dawn, myself, the dog, and Pam, Dawn's girlfriend. So, long story short, I realized that also, not only was the door locked, but the windows were secured closed, the hatch was secured closed, and our hideaway key was inside the boat. Needless to say, $300 later, we called a locksmith who could not open the lock, so he ended up drilling through the lock.
Oh.
And the boat is 38 years old, so that will be a challenge to replace. And then I have to now go back up to Los Angeles, way into Los Angeles, to meet the locksmith to get our lock cylinder that he claimed he could replace and could not. So, yeah, this gift just keeps on giving.
And moral of the story?
Hide 2 keys.
I can help with that. I went to the dollar store this afternoon and bought 2 of these, a carabiner with a little O-ring on it for an extra key. Clip at your belt. Someone knows that completes my report.
And then also, all right, Vic, we asked Diana Bakken to come up and talk about the cruise that's coming up for Thanksgiving.
Real quick, I just wanna mention that the Carnival Day After Thanksgiving cruise still has some cabins left. If anybody's interested, you can talk to me about it and call directly from the flyer, find out prices and all that stuff. We have over 60 really fun members going. It's gonna be a great time. There's nothing like a cruise ship where you constantly run into somebody you know. So if you're interested, see me. The other thing is Monday Night Football starts this Monday, the 11th, and we have member chefs for ours, and we have Game of Chance with Bob Schweitzer. And check us out on Facebook for menu and the teams playing. Thanks.
Okay, John Caldwell, we're at 8:15. We did a lot of stuff here tonight. I just want to point out the time to you. So this concludes our September meeting. If you want to donate money to Lahaina, come see me. If you want to talk about sailing with the blind, Mary's in that corner, and swap meet is over in that corner. And everyone over here know all of these new members. There are new people. This concludes our meeting.